Going to leave the stats of the storm up, Elisa, just over to my right here, so you'll be able to see them as they update live. We believe the landfall of the center of the eye is going to be just past 1 a.m. in the morning, and that timing is what we've been saying all day long, and it appears to be right on track. I'll show you that in a moment, too. Here in southeast Texas, the wind is gusting to 30 miles per hour in Galveston, not quite to tropical storm force, but the wind just started gusting to tropical storm force there in Lake Charles, and just offshore of Louisiana are some really powerful winds and a lot of surge that appears to be moving in at this time. We've got some rain bands moving into the southern part of Louisiana. Huge tornado warning in there for one of the outer rain bands at this time. And as we zoom into where the eye is located, notice all the shear markers that we're seeing. That's the radar picking up on extreme winds in what we call the eye wall. The eye wall is this ring of thunderstorms that surround the eye. In the eye, it's typically calm, but these thunderstorms around the eye is where the storm is housing its 140+ mile-per-hour winds. And when that ring makes it to shore, we're expecting some extreme wind damage to occur, catastrophic wind damage. We also expect catastrophic storm surge to move in as well. Very unusual to see lightning inside of the inner eye wall there of a hurricane, and you only see that in the most intense hurricanes that we have here in the Atlantic Basin. The center of the storm is about 65 miles offshore, and with it moving northwest at about 15 miles per hour, that should put it on shore just after 1 o'clock in the morning. And as we sample the inside of the storm with our Doppler winds, the Doppler radar is picking up winds well over 100 miles per hour. Some of this is going to be transplanted or transferred down to the ground in those thunderstorm rains, and that is when all of the wind damage is going to start. Here in southeast Texas, we're seeing false echoes, no significant rain in town at this time, so no issues here at this particular time. Laura has 150 mile-per-hour winds right now. The pressure is at 937. It's moving north at about 15 miles per hour. That should put it on shore again just past 1 o'clock in the morning as a very powerful and catastrophic Category 4 hurricane. The system is going to continue moving quickly to the north, but as it goes, it's going to produce a tremendous amount of wind damage. Here's a look at the storm surge forecast. Now, we're already getting some indications that Cameron, Louisiana, already has a 3-foot storm surge, and the worst of the storm surge is yet to make it to coast. So we're thinking in this red area here, 9 feet plus, and now the National Hurricane Center is saying up to 20 feet of storm surge is going to be possible as this system moves on in. So that is a catastrophic storm surge that we're talking about, life-threatening as well. Good news for southeast Texas, the expectance of a storm surge around here has gone down. We're thinking 1 to 3 feet is where we are right now, so that's a big change from what we had earlier, but there will be some wind, especially on the east side of our viewing area. As we look at our future wind product here, it says that as we go through the evening, we're going to continue to see those winds pick up from Galveston onto the north and east. By the time we get to landfall time there or close to it, winds will be gusting well over 100 miles per hour in places like Port Arthur and Beaumont. Extreme wind warnings will be necessary. As that is happening, you can think about this as like a 40 to 50 mile wide EF1 or EF2 tornado that's going to be plowing through that region, producing all the wind damage. As we get to 5 o'clock in the morning, winds will be calming down here in Houston, but it will still be blowing really hard in the Beaumont area. Finally, by the time we get to noontime, the worst of the hurricane will begin to move on to the north, and things will really begin to calm down. We've got a long way to go as we go through the rest of the night with this powerful hurricane moving in, but things look to be okay right now in most of southeast Texas.